Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sonia D, and here we believe you can start life over at any time, any place, any age. If you're a returning subscriber, you've probably been wondering, maybe not, where I've been, because I've been gone for about 4 months now, and I'll get into that just now. If you're new here, welcome to the family, welcome to the channel. Remember to hit that subscribe button so we see you here next time, and hit that like button if you enjoy our conversation. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, and let's grow this community. So guys, Happy New Year! I should ideally have, I don't know, a glass of wine, something, sipping on something. But I am actually on a little bit of a cleanse right now. But Happy New Year to you, to yours, your loved ones. I hope you stepped into 2025 feeling really fulfilled, feeling hopeful, joyful, all the wonderful things that come with turning over a new leaf. I hope that this year exceeds your wildest imagination in many, many ways. And I look forward to growing here with you guys. So, without further ado, let's get into this. Where have you been, Sonia? Where have you been? I mean, I've had some people DM me on some, I've been waiting for the next video, girl, or I hope you'll share the next video this week. And I intended to, but I will get into why that didn't happen. I just want to say I appreciate you guys so much. It means the world to me to know that you're watching, that you look forward to receiving episodes from me. That touches my heart as a little girl from Zimbabwe. Harare. I'm really grateful to know that there are people who like rock. So today I'm going to share 4 main reasons why I've been MIA, missing in action. And before we go on, can we take a moment to appreciate this head wrap? Shout out to my girl Taffy. This one's all the way from the motherland. Thank you, girl. Thank you. Look how it goes with the fit and my pop plant in the background there. Clearly, there's a theme here. Actually, there is a theme. My journal, my little speaker. This is a color I enjoy, clearly. Anyway, I digress. Shout out Taffy. I'm going to share 4 reasons why I've been MIA. And you know, in doing this, I want to be able to bring you guys into my world, into my thought process, because here, you know, we're sharing to grow together, and I believe in vulnerability, authenticity, and that means being able to share as comfortably as I can so that, you know, maybe someone out there can feel normal about what they're experiencing, what they're going through, because I've been able to do the same watching some of my favorite content creators sharing their own journeys. The first and main reason why you haven't seen or heard much from me is because life got so real. So I arrived here in February, this 2024, I was about to say this year, 2024, February, and it's been a whirlwind since. I mean, I was still vlogging at the time. At the time, I still had a bit of the time to do that because I was still settling into work. I hadn't really started yet. And I was living with my sister and her husband. So, you know, I could afford to. And I was also excited about being in this new place, exploring. And I wanted to show you guys what I was experiencing and bring you in on it. So when I moved into my new place around, I want to say May, thereabouts, May. And, you know, then we had summer break. And so I work currently as a native English teacher at a private school here in Prague. And if you're a teacher, you know, guys, I have done a couple of different jobs in my life. I've worked in corporate, I have been self-employed, I have worked at a small business. And each of these roles have had their challenges, but I kid you not, working as a teacher, I teach 10 to 11-year-olds, working as an English teacher, just a teacher, has by far been the most humbling, most challenging job of my life thus far, period. Period. I don't care what you say. Dealing with young kids, I don't think there's anyone who can really fully explain it to you unless you do it. I didn't get it until I started it. And even then, my sister at one point was an English teacher, and I didn't really understand, even though I sort of saw it in how she lived life. But yeah, it's fulfilling, don't get me wrong. I love children. I've always enjoyed working with kids. And coaching and teaching allows me to do a bit of that. But man, kids of today, just kids in general, they will have you reevaluating yourself a lot. And it's just a lot of prep work. It's a lot of, interacting. I once saw a meme that as a teacher, you're the therapist, you're a referee, you're a counselor, you're a nurse, what are the other ones? I don't know. Like, you're just everything. And you're on the whole time you're at work. You cannot be off because anything could happen at any time. But anyway, I don't want to go too much into that. But starting that job and really digging my heels in has been more challenging than I anticipated. Getting used to this new environment, this new country, this new city, with its climates and, weather and people, food, language, that in itself has been a journey. So trying my best to do that while I'm doing my best to learn a job I've never done before, that is also very demanding and taxing, has taken a lot out of me. It's taken its toll on me. And so I made the choice, if you remember last year, my word was selfish. So I made the selfish choice to just pause and focus on what I could do and focus on what would be best for me. And at the time, being able to take that time off from creating content was very vital for me, so that I could get comfortable in this work, and keep bringing my best self to my job, to my kids, before I started creating this content. And really, it's been such a joy. I think, as much as it is challenging, these children have taught me so much. They've opened up my heart. They've shown me that we really shape and we influence people more than we realize, especially at such a young age. They've taught me a lot, and just this job has taught me so much. I failed miserably many times. So the perfectionist in me, the people pleaser in me has been shot down several times. And honestly, that's been a cure for me. I think I needed that exposure. I needed to know that I don't know much and I am still growing in many ways. So being in that mindset, having to face those parts of myself was also really difficult for me. And I don't feel I could have been the best version of myself, or I could have brought the best to you guys in that mind space. I needed to process that. So, I could barely do many things. I could barely keep in contact with people. I could barely eat right. So my health was affected and all of that. But I also understood it was a season, and I just allowed myself to be in that season. And I'm grateful I did that. I was able to go through it. So yeah, that was reason number one. Number two, so I underestimated how physically, mentally, and emotionally taxing it is to settle into a new place, into a new environment. Like I said to you guys, I moved here in February, and as most of you know, and it's one thing to move to a new place where you have to figure out how things work, transport system, currency, what's in the grocery store, what do they sell, you're used to eating certain foods, will you find those foods here, what do you have to adjust to, what products are you going to have to use. My skin had to adjust. You guys can't really see it now, but my skin is not the way it used to be. My skin used to be flawless, glowy. I'm breaking out, guys. I'm convinced it's the water here. I'm going to do a separate video on that. I'm also convinced it's hormonal changes. I'm getting older. But dealing with all of that, dealing with the changing body, in terms of my skin, my body adjusting to this climate. So when I came, it was towards the end of winter. We went into summer, which is great because I felt like I was still sort of at home because that's the weather at home. And then autumn kicked in around October, and winter, which we currently are in. And I had to do a lot of adjustments, guys. I'm an African child, African sun baby. I'm used to seeing sunlight pretty much every day, especially born in Zimbabwe, lived there sometimes, also lived in Joburg quite a lot. I was used to seeing sunshine even in winter. That was like a given. Now here, it's a miracle when I see sunshine during summer days. There are days, when they told me, my sister told me, people told me here when I came, I didn't believe it. But you can go a week more without seeing the sun. I kid you not, guys. I'll share a video with you guys to show you what the weather is currently doing right now. And that all obviously takes a toll on you. You start to think more negative thoughts if you're not careful, and especially with the demanding work that I was doing and my schedule, it was easy for me to fall into not so great patterns or rhythms. And so I didn't even have the capacity to think about creating content, showing up on social media. I was always tired. I'd get home, I could barely cook. I could barely do much. I just wanted to veg out because, I'm also an empath. Being around kids all the time, being around different energies, I was taking all these things in, and by the time I get home, I need to release. I need a place to let it out. And mind you, I usually do this in nature. So during summertime, that was easier. After work, I'd get home, the sun sets late. I could go into the forest and into nature to be able to release. But come autumn, winter, guys, the sun is setting by 4 p.m. It's like 6 p.m., 7 p.m. in Africa. That's what it looks like. So your girl's not walking in the forest at that hour by herself when it's so dark. So I didn't have that access to be able to release that energy and release all these, energies that I'd been around all day. So that was really difficult as well for me to adjust to. And I just had to do what I could. So that was another reason. If you're looking to move, if you're looking to make a big change like this, like relocate, I would say give yourself a full year to fully adjust. I realize I should probably have allowed myself that much time to really adjust before feeling like I should go gung-ho full into everything I wanted to do, including creating content. I don't regret having started anyway. It's just I've learned and I've enjoyed it, and I've gotten you guys to come along with me. However, if you are making this change, I would say give yourself time. You need it because it's not as simple as you may think. You need time to adjust to so many things, and you don't know until you get into those things or into those experiences or spaces. And not only that, as a woman of color in a country that is predominantly white or Caucasian, that has also been very challenging for me to adjust to move through. I think I've spoken about it in a previous video, which I'll link up. But now I'm fine, I'm good, I'm cool. It is what it is. I'm learning to grow taller and stronger in that, and to appreciate my culture, my roots, my essence as a Black woman. So yeah, that was also something I needed to work through. And a lot of the time when I need to work through stuff, I need to do it alone in private. So I couldn't show up and do it here. I haven't mastered that yet. it is what it is. So yeah, that was number 2. Number 3, I've basically touched on it, but adjusting to colder days, shorter days, darker days. And I think I've basically gone through it really in detail. All I can say is if you are thinking of moving to this part of the world, to Europe, Central Europe particularly, prepare yourself mentally. I remember reading up on this before I came, reading up about being an expat in a new place and what that's like. And, they said the first 3 months are like exhilarating, it's exciting, it's this new place, you're living your dream. Very true, all true. I experienced that. However, there reaches a point where you're like, this is my reality. Like, for me, it's my reality. I'm going to be living through shorter days, darker days, colder days, no sunlight for weeks. Wow. Sonia, can you do this? Can you actually do this and maintain your sanity and be happy? Not just maintain your sanity, but I want to feel joy, guys. I don't know about you, but I want to feel joy. I want to be happy with my life. And I just started questioning a lot of things. Like, can I do that? Will I be able to sustain that long term? So you have to grapple through with those things. So when you come here, it's good to read up on the place. It's good to understand the process of relocating to a completely new place. And it's good to have people around you who've gone through it. Like I had my sister, I had some friends who've also made the shift to the side of the world, and family who helped talk me through it, so that I felt normal as I went through the processes, and I was able to, sort of hold on and push through. So I would say do your best to do that. And that's why I created this channel, because maybe someone is thinking of relocating. This may help you. This may help you when you're going through those dark moments that, oh yeah, this random chick called Sonia said she went through this, so this must be normal. I'm good. And you'll be fine. Just keep your eye on the prize and be kind to yourself. I remember before moving here, there's a YouTuber that I also follow, I admire. She was in Poland and she's recently relocated to Canada. And she was just speaking about, not doing so great. And I asked her, how do you deal with the colder weather, the darker days? And she just said, you know what, I allow myself to feel what I'm feeling. I don't deny when I'm feeling low, and I just go through it. And that helped me feel better, because I didn't want to have to come here and pretend and like, oh, yay, just be happy. No, I allowed myself to go through the motions. So be kind to yourself as well. That'll help you go through it quicker. And the fourth reason you guys have not seen much of me is I really needed to reevaluate my why in life in general, and for beginning this channel. I knew why I started it, and as I say in my very first video, which I'll also link here, and at that time that was very real for me. It still is in some ways, but I also needed to reflect on whether I was doing this really for me, for my own fulfillment, and for what I want to share with the world, the gift I want to leave with the world, who I want to be in this place, in this space, or if I was doing it because it's the trendy thing to do, it's what's expected of me. Like I've mentioned before, I am a recovering people pleaser. That's a real thing. And so I just had no motivation. I just wanted to stop creating and doing and just leave that and allow, so that I could dig through and work through these thoughts. Why do you want to do this, Sonia? What's the aim? Who is it for? What if nothing comes of it? Would you be okay with that still? Is it something you still enjoy? Is it something you still want to put out there? These were real questions I needed to ask myself, and I needed to do that in private and honestly. So yeah, I have become even more clear on this. I feel more solid, more grounded, and I want to show up here for my former self, for my little girl, the little girl inside me who wanted someone who looked like her, who sounded like her, to give her some advice, to show her life through her eyes, so that she could see that, yeah, this is accessible for me too, this is normal, things like that. And there are other reasons why, but essentially I needed to be able to make that clear to myself at this time. So yeah, that's it, good people. Those are the 4 reasons you ain't seen me in a while. But otherwise, no, I'm really good. We've had our winter break, Christmas break. It was amazing. I'll share a couple of pics from our Christmas day. Here they celebrate Christmas on the 24th of December. We celebrated it with my sister and her husband and his family, who have also really become family. It was a wonderful time. And it's been interesting learning the traditions here, and hopefully I'll be able to share more of that next year. And what you can expect from me, I'm committing myself to showing up more consistently here, and I will keep sharing the same content basically that you've seen, travel vlogs or day in the life, and more of these conversations as we work through life, as we work through starting over in whatever space that may be at an older age, and some of the discoveries I've made and some of the changes I'm making in my life that are really positive, that are helpful to me, and that may be helpful for someone else. And so yeah, please drop down any questions you may have from what I've shared in this conversation, or just in general, being someone here on this end of the world. I'd love to, be able to share in a way that is beneficial for you. So feel free, don't be shy, or find me on Instagram, DM me. I do have a private account, but request me, I'll let you in. You can DM me, or find me on TikTok as well. So yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for joining me, for tuning in, for not abandoning your sister. And yeah, I really do wish you a phenomenal 2025. Let's get into whatever it is that we're trying to get into, whatever it is you're trying to fulfill, where you're trying to go. Even if it's one clear goal that you have for this year, I say that's more than enough. You don't need a laundry list of resolutions. I've learned the simpler, the better. I no longer focus on more than 3 things for the year, and that's really made such a world of difference. Like, for example, last year for me, it was moving here and settling in, and that's done. So you're able to give more energy to these goals when they're simple, when they're clear, when they're less. So yeah, if you want to share what your goals are for this year, please do that. I intend to do an episode about that, things you can ask yourself to help you prepare for the year. So look out for that. Otherwise, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day or evening, weekend, whatever time you're watching this. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Until then, remember, life is beautiful and you have time.